Is this picture real? How about this one? I know you recognize this picture. I'm sure you realize these are fakes. Deep faking is not my specialty. However, there are a lot of malicious actors out there that can fool the average person into thinking something is real. One of the biggest ways AI is going to affect us in 2024 is the upcoming presidential election. On January 3, 2024, an urgent call to action echoed across the United States. As voters in Phoenix, Arizona stood in line back in November 2022, little did they know that the very fabric of their democracy was under a new, invisible threat. Generative artificial intelligence, AI. This advanced AI, capable of creating realistic text, images, and media from existing data, has emerged as a formidable challenge to the integrity of U.S. elections. It's not just a domestic concern. Nations like China, Iran, and Russia could potentially exploit this technology to amplify cybersecurity risks and flood the American landscape with deceptive content. While the 2024 election might not face entirely new risks, cyber threats and disinformation have long been tools to undermine the electoral process. The advent of generative AI intensifies these dangers. This technology could compromise every aspect of elections, from voter registration to vote casting and result reporting. The responsibility to counter this threat primarily lies with state and local election officials, who have been safeguarding the electoral process against various threats for nearly 250 years. The challenges faced by these officials have been compounded since the 2020 election, with unfounded claims of voter fraud adding to their burden. They need robust support from federal agencies, voting equipment manufacturers, AI companies, the media, and voters themselves. Resources, capabilities, information, and trust are essential to strengthen election infrastructure security. AI companies, in particular, can contribute by developing tools to identify AI-generated content and prioritizing security in their products to prevent misuse. Now let's take a look at the rise of AI-enhanced disinformation. Let me know how you think AI will harm democracy. Generative AI has made creating fake content alarmingly easy and convincing. From crafting emails to generating deepfake images like the viral photo of Pope Francis in a puffer jacket, the technology is advancing rapidly. A notable instance was a fake audio recording that surfaced on Facebook just before Slovakia's elections, using voice cloning to fabricate a conversation between political figures. Foreign adversaries have long targeted U.S. elections with cyber intrusions, hack and leak operations, and disinformation campaigns. The involvement of more foreign actors, as reported by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence in December, reflects a growing trend. Generative AI will make these activities cheaper, more effective, and more targeted. As the U.S. presidential election nears, officials are bracing for the potential disruptive use of generative AI. Although no malicious use was observed in the November 7th state, local, and municipal elections, the technology has already been employed in political campaigning and in elections abroad. So how exactly do we combat misinformation during the election process? Well, we need to realize a few things. First, it's a global concern. The impact of generative AI on elections is a global issue. Over 2 billion people are expected to vote in various elections in 2024, and concerns extend beyond the US. The UK's National Cybersecurity Centre has warned of the potential use of AI to generate fabricated content and spread disinformation in the upcoming British general election. Generative AI can facilitate tailored cyber attacks, create sophisticated malware, and optimize botnet attacks. It can also exacerbate online harassment, including doxing, by rapidly generating content with personal information or threats. Can we combat AI threats? Despite these challenges, the U.S. has the means to counter the threat posed by malicious AI use. Election officials have been effectively defending election systems against a range of risks, including foreign influence operations and disinformation. They have implemented security measures, migrated to more secure domains, and partnered with agencies like the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency for threat information sharing and incident response assistance. To specifically address AI threats, officials can enable multi-factor authentication, use endpoint detection and response software, and adopt email authentication protocols. Protecting against AI-generated voice cloning involves secondary identity verification challenges. Public-facing websites can integrate human authentication tools like CAPTCHA to differentiate legitimate human inquiries from automated ones. Transparent communication by election officials with the public is crucial. Initiatives like the National Association of Secretaries of State #TrustedInfo 2024 and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency's Rumor versus Reality website are vital in providing accurate election information. The second way to combat misinformation is a collective effort. The role of the private sector, including AI companies, is significant. They should ensure the secure design of their products and develop methods to identify AI-generated content. The media must also be vigilant, relaying information from trusted sources and correcting misinformation. Voters can contribute by serving as poll workers or election observers and supporting their state and local election officials. Election security is a collective responsibility, transcending politics and partisanship to preserve the integrity of America's democratic process. With united efforts, the challenges posed by generative AI will be another obstacle that the American electoral system needs to overcome.